Let's talk about this, because if these women get in here and start jumping me, it's a problem. I got plenty of friends out there. I need to hear what y'all think.
Hello, my friend. How are you? Today I have a very special guest. I am so happy to have him here with me. We did a reel last week that brought about some really cool topics. So I'll show you the reel.
My sweetie pie, you're my cupcake, gumdrop, snickums, spickums, you're the apple.
I think y'all better leave this place, 'cause I'm about to catch a case.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on that? Do you agree? Do you understand? Is it easy to gentle parent? Is it easier to gentle spouse? That's what we're gonna get into today. So first, I'm going to introduce myself. If you're on my page, you know that I am Trey, Tranika, but all my friends call me Trey, so I'm Trey. And I am a mom of 3. I have been married to this lovely man for 10 years. This is our 11th year, but it'll be 11 in November. We dated all through college, and here we are. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey, I'm Stefan. Same thing she said. We've been married 10 years together, but 13 going on 14 this year. So it's been a long ride. It's been a wild ride. It's been a fun ride. But so yeah, just trying to delve into the conversation about gentle parenting, what it is, and how it relates to you as a spouse.
Yes. So with that being said, we will talk about what is gentle parenting. And we have notes, so we're going to look at our notes a little bit. So, gentle parenting.
While she looks that up, disclaimer, we're just two people. Get your notes. We're just two people that's been together for a very long time, and talking about our experiences. What we say, what we think, is not necessarily general. We don't claim to be anybody's coach, pastor, psychologist, whatever you may think of. We're just two people talking about their own experience. This could or could not apply to you. Take it, leave it, strain it, whatever you want to do with it. But this is our experience and what we deal with. So this is no way general. But if it does apply to you, then hey, let's talk.
From the comments and the DMs that I got from the reel, it seemed very something that we all struggle with, not just us. But the reel came because the kids had did something, and he's like, "You're so much more patient with them than you are with me," and I'm like, "Huh." And I am working on using my listening ears more than listening to understand and not just listening to respond. So you have heard gentle parenting. You've heard about it all over Instagram, all over TikTok. So we watched some videos, and it's something that we are, still working on. We're learning and unlearning a lot. But the founder is Sarah Ockwell Smith. I hope I said that correct. So we watched some of her videos, and gentle parenting is about empathy, understanding, and respect for your children. We both grew up in homes where I don't feel like there was a lot of empathy, understanding, and respect. Our parents loved us, but there was no type of gentle parenting.
Right. It was a do as I say, not as I do. It's, things like that.
That's more the authoritarian way of parenting. Versus do whatever. That's a more permissive way. Do whatever. I don't even care what you do. So there's authoritarian, permissive, and in the middle is where the gentle parenting flows. So it's not do what I say, and it's not I don't care what you do.
Yeah, I think we've all had those. We've all had those friends where their parents are so strict and don't allow them to do anything, don't allow them to experience life at all on their own, kind of overbearing. And then we also have those friends where their parents didn't care what time they came home. In middle school, my mom required us to be home by 8 o'clock or when the lights came on during the summer. But then I have another friend who says, My mom don't care what time I come home. And we thought that was the coolest thing ever. We thought that was the coolest parent ever. But over the years, you start to see the issues that can arise from both sides. Overbearing parents or strict parents, and then the issues that come from overly permissive parents that don't really pay attention to what their child is doing. So that's kind of where we're trying to fall in the middle with gentle parenting.
Right. So, again, you talked about authoritarian and permissive. In the middle is gentle parenting. So, with gentle parenting, it's teaching more than punishing. So, it's getting a true understanding of your child and where they are, like, mentally and emotionally. So, seeking to understand their love languages, seeking to understand, like, where they are. We have 3 kids, like I said. We have a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old. They're all on different levels emotionally, intellectually, and I can't expect my 4-year-old to do what my 9-year-old does. I mean, he can jump as high as he can, but I just can't expect him to understand what I say. So taking that into consideration, and communicating and staying calm, which is something that I feel like for me personally, I had to unlearn a lot of things that I thought. And I'm just like, do what I say. I'm just so tired of telling. But instead, learning to communicate with them on their level and hearing them and not just barking at them all day. There are 6 principles of gentle parenting. Respect. We all know what respect is. RESPCT. Empathy. Letting them make their own mistakes. Resetting and relaxing, and taking time to nurture ourselves and give all attention. So gentle parenting is treating our kids how we want to be treated. So how do you want to be treated? I feel like I am really good at gentle parenting. Not the best. There are still some things that I am healing and learning, but I feel like I can listen to them. I seek to understand them. I respect them in their little minds and their little bodies. We both do. We really, really do. Even though our views of gentle parenting are a little different, but I feel like we both are very respectful of our kids. But when it comes to this one, why is it hard to respect an adult, my spouse, my best friend, but it's so easy to respect my kids? Does he deserve the same empathy, respect, patience that I give them? Mm-hmm. And I will tell you where I struggle with it, because I feel like, oh, you're an adult, I'm not going to break you. My goal every day, I'm like, Lord, please don't let me break my kids. I don't want to break them. I don't want them to need therapy because of me. So that is my daily prayer.
Yeah, and, we focus so much on, and us specifically, and we'll dive into it in other episodes, but us specifically, we want to make sure that our kids doesn't have to heal from our parenting styles. Mm-hmm. And we make so much, so much to do about, am I parenting them right? Do I care for them enough? Am I giving them enough hugs? And we want them to see that example of, oh man, my parents love me, they encourage me, and all of that. But in the background, we're bickering at each other. We may not be communicating the right way. When we have disagreements, are we showing them the right way to have disagreements? Right. Are we showing them that it's okay to respect another's opinions or actions if they don't agree with our own? Mm-hmm. Right? Are they problem solving the right way? So that's the part that we've kind of ignored for a while, and like I said, it all stemmed from the joke, from the real. It was a little joke, and then it kind of hit us like, man, we treat our kids like this, or we prepare our kids to not to have to heal from our parenting, but are we preparing them to have healthy relationships by the way we live our life and by the way we show our relationships? So that's where all of this is coming from. Yeah,
and so I was doing my morning devotion, and the verse that came up to me that kind of spoke to this topic is Ephesians 4:29. And it said, let no unwholesome word proceed from your mouth, but only such a word as is good for edification according to the need of the moment, so that will give grace to those who hear. Mm-hmm. So that means give encouragement, give uplift. But if I am constantly like, you saw that reel, you dropped ice, if I'm constantly that's not edifying him. That's not uplifting him. That's just discouraging, and that's not being respectful. In same way, if he was constantly like, why you got this folded? Why dinner taste like that? Or anything he can say. Because there are definitely things that I do where I make mistakes. He is much better at giving me grace than I am him. Because I feel like I'm giving grace all day to 3 little people. So.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's giving grace that we would want. If you left something on the floor, how would you want someone to react? Would you want me to yell at you? I mean, would you want, if the food didn't taste like you wanted it to, how would you want somebody to react to you? So trying to give that grace that you want from somebody else. And it's hard. It's really hard because we see ourselves as awesome. Like, in my mind, I ain't making no mistakes. Like, nah, man. Like, yeah, I left that on the floor, but it's okay right there. I don't make no mistakes, but you left that on the floor, and it's a problem for me. Or you left the car without gas, that's a problem for me. But if I leave it, it's okay because I'm the one that put gas in it. And that's not necessarily the right way to think about it. So we give ourselves way more grace than we give others, and trying to put it at the forefront of our mind of, how to give grace to someone else the same way we would like to see it.
And then going back to gentle parenting with that, I feel like we both are very patient with our kids, and we give them so much more grace than we give each other. Mm-hmm. And with that, we speak kinder to them. We're nicer to them. But we should be nice and kind to each other. Marry someone who's always barking at him, because I'm be on her head.
Yeah, you're saying you don't want our son to marry someone who's always barking at him, and him thinking that's okay. Or you don't want our daughter thinking that it's okay to be talked to crazy or disrespected, hit in any way, whatever. You don't want your daughter to have to deal with that, or your son to have to be an aggressor, or even be, what they call them, a simp, and just let women trample all over them. Yeah. So you got to show them how to have a healthy relationship, and it starts at home, and that's something we've been kind of overlooking for years. But in your opinion, why do we tend to do that? Why do we tend to pay more attention to the kids and how gentle we are with them and how much grace we're showing them versus each other?
I'll say, first of all, because like I said in the beginning, I just feel like I don't want to break them. I just finished a devotion on the YouVersion app that says, "Dear God, I do not want to break my children. I don't want to break them. I want them to live happy and great childhoods." So I just want to do everything to make that happen for them. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, if I'm like fussing at my husband, or if he's fussing at me, and we're not being gentle with each other, that's not really a good environment for them to grow up in. Right. And I think the other thing that's easy to do, because with him traveling, he travels for work, I think I'm with them more. I'm home with them all day, except when they're at school for a few hours. But I'm home with them all day, so they are kind of like, not that I'm close to them, but I just kind of, he's out of sight, out of mind. They're always in sight, and they're always on my mind. Like, all day I think about them. And so I think that it's easier to like learn them and be more understanding with them. And then they grew inside of me. So I'm just like, I love them so much. You didn't. You're a grown up. So I'm like, get it together, grown up.
Yeah, and I kind of feel the same way. I mean, for example, last night, spending the time with my daughter while she reads her new book that she got from school. She's obviously reading this series on dragons. She's into dragons right now, and taking the time to allow her to read that to me and take interest in what she's liking right now. And then after that, I go into the room and I say, well, I'll be back. I'm going to go watch the game. Good night, pretty much. If you sleep by the time I come in, I'll kiss you good night. And, we don't have to cuddle every night, but at the same time, it's putting that effort towards, or at least being conscious of how much time you're spending with your spouse, or, how much quality time you're spending with your spouse. Mm-hmm. So, because I think he is very good about, he'll take Mason out. All the kids get their one-on-one time. We are so intentional about giving all 3 of them individual time, group time, teaching them how to play the video game, letting them cook with us. But then when it comes to us, we're so exhausted. It's just like, you go this way, I go that way. I'll talk to you whenever. And you better not leave nothing on my floor. You better get your clothes off the bathroom floor and put them in the hamper. Mm-hmm. And it's just not the same
I know we love each other. Like, we love each other, but I just feel like it was not.
Kind of pause right there. All right, now.
We love each other. We love each other. He's my person. But I feel like sometimes I'm like, you're here. We'll meet up when they're gone, when they're grown. And it can't be like that, because if we get into this like automatic, like robot, okay, you work, I take care of the kids, you pay the bills, I take care of the home. Like, our kids are just like, they don't see love, and we want them to feel love from us, but we also want them to see love. And I think even us loving each other well makes them feel loved, because you feel safe and secure. We did not grow up in a home with two parents, so we didn't see that. So I think that is something else that's making it hard. We're like learning how to be. The women in my family are strong, they are independent, and being gentle was not really an option. It was like very authoritarian. Yeah. So,
I mean, right now we put a lot of emphasis on like, oh, I want to show my kids, how to be financially free. We put all this emphasis on teaching them those things. Like, man, you got to be financially free. I want to leave a legacy for you. But like, relationships, that's the basis of their life. They're going to have plenty of relationships, and it's just not romantic relationships. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to be friends forever. They're going to have to be coworkers, employees, employers. They're going to have to be these things forever. Dealing with people is something that they're going to have to, successfully do for the rest of their lives, unless they're going to be a hermit on some island somewhere, which is not happening. So teaching them how to have healthy relationships, how to talk to people, how to problem solve, that's just as, if not more important than teaching them financial literacy, or teaching them or not healing from their parenting or being good parents. So, it can't be ignored. But I think as we continue to go on with this, right now we're just kind of rambling, just kind of throwing our thoughts out there, and then we'll get a little bit more specific as the weeks go on and we continue to get more dialogue, more comments, and more thoughts from you all. If you choose to join in
and engage with us,
come on, let's talk. Like, we don't know. All we know, we've been together 10 years. We've been together 13, going on 14 years. Been married for 10. We ain't been in this new dating scene. We don't know what's going on out there in the streets. I just know I look out the door and I just poke my head back there. Like when you know how it is when it's cold. You put your arm out there and be like, oh man. So we don't know what's going on this scene. So if you got a new outlook, or if you're saying, hey, man, what's going on right now is that's happening everywhere, you guys are late, let us know. You know what I mean? But, we've been together way too long. We dinosaurs in this thing right now.
Yeah,
so.
And we wanted, like I said, when I posted the reel, there were so many moms that came in to my DMs there, because there's not a lot of men that follow me on Instagram, but there were a lot of moms and wives that came in and
Fellas,
were like,
follow. Let's talk. It's follow. It's a lot of information in here. It's not just for moms. It's not just for, listen, man, it's not just for kids. Follow. Let's talk about this, because if these women get in here and start jumping me, it's a problem. I got plenty of friends out there. I need to hear what y'all think. I need some backup here, because I know these women finna get in here and fire us up. So help me out.
So with that, we'll close. And my question to you, and if you can comment below, is it easier to gentle spouse than gentle parent? Is it easier to gentle parent than gentle spouse? Comment below and then ask questions. And we're going to be back next week. So we are so excited. Thank you for being here with us. We hope you enjoy this. Watch it with your spouse. Share it with a friend.
Turn your notifications on so when the next one goes up, you're ready to go. So like, comments, subscribe, notification bell, all of those things.
Look at you.
Hey, look at me. I know a little bit now. Hey,
Until next time, you got this, mama. Have a good day.